Kendrick have a dream. All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, or die from last shout. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud nine, and this nine is never on vacation. Start up that Maserati and vroom vroom, I'm racing. Popping pills in the lobby, and I pray they don't find her naked. And I pray you niggas is agent. Shooters go after Judas. Jesus Christ, if I live life on my knees, ain't no need to do this. Park it in front of looters, next to the church is chicken. All you pussies that losers, all my niggas is winning. Screaming all my life, I want money and power. Respect my mind or die from less shot. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Wifey, girlfriend, and mistress. All my life, I want money and power. Respect my mind or die from less shot. I got 25 lighter on my dresser. Yes, sir. Put fire to that ass, body cast on a stretcher. And her body got that ass that a ruler couldn't measure. And it make me come fast, but I never get embarrassed. And I recognize you have what I've been wanting since that record that Adina Howard had. Pop it fast to impress her. She rolling, I'm holding my scrotum, imposing. This voice here is golden, so fuck y'all, I goes in. And all my life I want money and power. Respect my mind or die from less shout. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Wifey, girlfriend, and mistress. All my life I want money and power. Respect my mind, no nigga, it's go time. I roll and dough with a good grind, and I run and hoe with a big time. It's a relay race with a bouquet. They say, can you go marry mine? Biatch, no way. Biatch, no way. Biatch, no way. Biatch, okay, I'm never living like a fine. It's a failure, even if I'm blind. I can tell you who, what, when, where, how to sell your game right on time. Biatch, okay. Biatch, okay. Biatch, okay. Biatch, I look like I'm just killing everything from pussy to motherfucking equal bitchy. Pussy popping, and I got options like an auto boy. C-O-M-P-T-O-N, I win the ball at your defeat. C-O-M-P-T-O-N, my city, mobbing in the street. All my life I want money and power. Respect my mind or die from less shout. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Damn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Wifey, girlfriend, and mistress. All my life I want money and power.
What is up, everybody? It's your boys from InTheBox, back with another crazy ambitious idea that we did a couple weeks ago. We're going to do it again right now. This is the 24-hour vibe stream for the BTC halving, which is going to happen at some point tomorrow in 16 hours or so, maybe. I haven't even looked. I don't know. That's a total random number I'm throwing out at you. But regardless, we're going to have a lot of fun. We got a really, really epic lineup planned for you all over the next day. Let me just consult my list here. First up, right now at 11 p.m., you got the InTheBox crew. Here we are. Ta-da! After that, we got the illustrious Daniel Crowitz, aka Cosmos Sagittarius, coming in at 1 a.m. for a 2-hour slot. Looking forward to that as always. And then our boy Inside Out at 3 a.m. coming in for a couple hours, followed up by Boss. If you're on Twitch, I'm sure you know who Boss is. And so we're really excited to hear from him. I think he's kind of one of those hidden figures a little bit. Everybody's kind of curious about him, and I'm definitely one of those people too. So that's Boss at 5 a.m. After that, TK Coleman is in the house at 7 a.m. Coming in. I think he's going to have a couple guests himself. Looking forward to that. Maybe a little Numpty's appearance right here on ITB Live. And then at 9 a.m., y'all may know who she is, but probably not. Her name is River, will be here at 9 a.m. doing her thing, hanging out, talking crypto, chilling. You know how it is. Looking forward to that. And then our own Manifestival at 11 a.m. My boy down there, He's gonna be holding down the fort for a couple hours. And then at 1 p.m., this is one I'm really looking forward to. That is Daz K2. And I'm not going to spoil what he has planned, but I got a little sneak peek earlier, and y'all should be hyped about it because it's freaking dope. So he's at 1 p.m. And then following that, Customized is going to be in the building at 3 p.m. Doing what he does best, which is probably a whole bunch of not a lot of talking and a whole lot of building, if I had to guess. So I'm always looking forward to see what that dude's creating. Following that, 5 p.m. we got Kurt Wuckert Jr. Kurt Wuckert Jr. Wuckert.
He says Wookert, but his grandmom says Bookert.
And
we learned that on your show, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Wuckert, you can call it what you want, you know? Whatever. So Kurt's going to have all kinds of cool stuff to say. He always does, man. He's one of my favorite personalities on Twitch. I'm really looking forward to him. And then I will be taking over at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, though, but I definitely have something extra special planned, something very near and dear to my heart. And I hope that you guys will enjoy that as well. That's at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And that, I think, is going to be somewhere pretty close, either somewhere between 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I'll give it a big window. That's probably when the halving is actually going to happen. But last up on our agenda at 9 p.m. tomorrow night is Trisha One Love. Going to be doing some maybe a little retro gaming for you guys, from what I understand. And I'm really excited about that, too. And that's going to be a really great way to wrap things up.
And then we do ITB again.
And then we'll be right back on because we're...
So it's almost like a 26-hour stream. That's crazy.
It's like I don't even know what life is anymore, stream.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, thanks, Manifestival.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We couldn't have started this at 1 o'clock. No? Okay, that's fine.
So, yeah, the 24-hour stream kind of came to me out of... I watch a lot of chess, and they do something called Banter Blitz over at chess24.com. The grandmasters sit there and play people that are in the channel, and they talk about all their moves, and they'll do it for 24 hours on special events like the birthdays and of the site and stuff like that. And it's just like the silliness of it and the exhaustion that it induces in people, like at a certain point, you just cover everything. You cover what you've been watching on Netflix. You cover, you cover every question in the chat, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to build like some high vibes,
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. And, another thing I'm looking forward to is, all this lineup is people from all over the world. We got people in Europe. We got people in Canada, all over the States. So you're going to get to see a lot of different kind of cultures colliding, people with completely different expertise in so many different fields. It's going to be kind of just a massive master class of all things in a way. It's going to be really fun.
If you think about it, it's almost greater than Rome. With all the people combined, the sun will never not shine on this stream. This is the true vibe stream.
It's true, yeah.
The vibe stream.
The vibe stream, yeah. And I think, too, obviously, I don't think there's anybody, including us, that's going to be here sticking around the entire 24 hours. So that's why we really wanted to switch up the content and what was going on every couple hours. There's definitely going to be something for you. If you want to come in and talk, crazy conspiracies and coding, then hang out with Inside Out at 3 a.m. If you're artsy or a musician or something like that, hang out with me at 7 or Daz at 1 p.m. tomorrow. If you're a gamer, Trisha One Love is the spot for you. We're gonna be really trying to keep everybody up to date with who's taking over the box and what's going on. I'm
hyped, dude.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I think the first in the box that I ever caught was River. And you guys ended up having like a big crew there for River, right?
Yeah, I feel like there was quite a bit of people in there. There was a few times River was on. You may have been thinking about the River Randy Spiff night because there was like at least 6 or 7 of us that night. But original River, I think there was probably a few people in that one too. I don't really remember.
It was all 4 of us plus River, right?
Yeah,
The first one.
maybe somebody else too. I'm not sure.
Well, either way, I just remember like trying to wrap my head around it, and I was like, "Man, what is going on here? Who are these people?" Like, I didn't really know River that at that time. I mean, I'm pretty new to the community, you know.
Sure.
And I loved it. Like, I think Dookie was like in his garage or something,
Yeah,
and it was
man.
like. It was like 1 a.m. and but because y'all had to do it on Rivers time, I think, you know, so it was like all these time zones were mixing up, and I loved it. I was like, man, this is so cool. It's like off the cuff, you know.
You know, I think if I remember correctly, Andre, I think that very first River interview, we all had to get up really early.
Rod Sirloin as well. Wasn't Rod there?
Okay, I believe that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, remember he was kind of quiet throughout the stream.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we asked him like a question or something, and he gave like some funny ass response.
Perfect, right? Right out of nowhere. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think
shout out
that
from Adele.
if I remember correctly, she wanted to do it like really early in the morning for her, which ended up being like even really earlier in the morning for us. I feel like it was like, I think our stream, I think we went and we didn't even stream that. I think we actually recorded that interview and posted it. If I recall correctly, I think Andre and I started the interview at 5 a.m. and Dookie was at 6 or no 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just remember it was so dark. I could tell Dookie was like not up at a normal time, and actually,
Oh yeah.
he kind of I loved him right away, man. He's like, you know, it was just like the fact that he put an effort in to be there at what was so early and obviously early, like in a garage. I was like, who would do this?
Yeah. No, he's the man.
If you don't fall in love with Dookie at first sight, you're probably a sociopath.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody in the chat right now that is not following user at 1618 on Twitch, you're probably a sociopath. So if you want to fix that, go follow Dookie Love.
And just so you guys know,
We got a
also
bunch of people in the chat, huh? There's a lot of people in here.
Yeah,
huh?
thanks everybody
Sweet,
for hanging out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope that you guys pop your heads in and out throughout this whole process. Just looking too, I was totally gonna say something and I can't remember what it was. Blah 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 blah. Oh, the stream itself, because we figured this out last time. Because who knew that apparently if you do a 24-hour stream, you break YouTube. So even right now, as we record this, our last 24-hour stream refuses to process, and it's like we can't figure.
You can't even watch it. You can't rewatch it. We get credit for the hours and the views and all of that stuff, but it just doesn't. You cannot replay it. So hence, we learned our lesson.
Yeah.
We learned a lot of things from that stream.
We did.
I think Cookie's in the chat. He says it was negative 10 degrees in the garage that morning. I think I remember that.
Dude, so
He cracks me up, man.
I love that because he never complained about it either. I mean, River was in the house and he was like, "I'll freeze, dude. I don't care," you know. That's great.
He was like, "I am not gonna bitch. I am not gonna complain. It's River. I gotta be
just
man up."
Dookie's like manning up for that one, you know. Like Dookie's just like the heart that you could tell that he had to be there so early and to be showing up for River. I loved it, and to me it showed me a lot about what the vibe of the stream is.
I may be in the process of making a meme on stream live now, because I'm just imagining the Titanic scene where Jack's hanging on the door, right? That's Dookie, right?
Yeah.
In the freezing fucking. All we needed was some water.
All we needed was some water, bro.
Yeah. And I didn't know that y'all were like all hosts of the show. I thought just whoever was around would just jump in. So then that's why when on the first show that I came on, I just was like, "Yo, guys, get me on! Like, I'm here. I'm here.
Here I am."
I didn't realize we had these special guests, you know.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I wonder if a lot of other people feel the same way, because we've always made it so easy to get people on since day one.
Yeah. Who actually hosts this show anyway? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, back to my point though. I kind of got derailed, but so we're gonna break this stream up into 3 8-hour sections. I'll be kind of hosting the first 8 hours and taking care of those people. Then Andres is going to take over at the helm while I take a little nappy poo for a few hours, which it really kind of sucks because I'm going to miss some really awesome stuff. But you know what? We'll see what happens. And then I take back over later in the evening. So you're going to have a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3 8-hour videos. And we'll try to really keep those organized so you know who's in what video. And so if you want to see a specific person, you'll know when that happens.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's gonna be kind of easy, right? Like we'll do the what we could do is before we end our little 2-hour session, we make sure that we have the thumbnails up. We put the links into YouTube. We put people could set their reminder, whatever the case is. So it's gonna be an easy transition once we hit about that 7-hour, 45-minute mark. Right, I start on my side, and then boom, It'll just transition, start moving over to the other one.
Exactly.
I'm excited. I'm hyped.
Exactly. Thank you all for tuning in. The people that have already so far, all 27 of you, it looks like. We really appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're really looking for them subscriptions. Gonna help us a lot of ways.
Too, I love that we're talking about how many people are watching right now too, and I feel like every single person who's watching this right now is in some way connected to us emotionally. You know what I mean? Like
That's
people
true.
aren't watching yet if they just kind of bounced in off the street. Every single one of us has the obligation and responsibility to kind of like carry that bright gang spirit to the other people that we come in contact with. Like whether it's on Twitch or whether it's on Twitter, trying to pull people in, on Facebook, trying to let people know about it. I've got my wife on board. We just had a beautiful Mother's Day. We got 2 little kids, and like bringing her in. She loved like silly memes, so it's just there's this little small hurdle that you got to tell people about. Just like costs a couple pennies each time, but once they get over that little hurdle, they realize that little hurdle can actually keep out a lot of idiots. You know what I mean?
That's so true, man.
But yeah, good reminder. By the way, to any moms, to probably maybe the one mom in here.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe one
Probably
or 2.
26 dudes, one mom.
Yeah.
Right? Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, man. I got to hang out with my mom a little bit earlier. That was really a nice treat, man. It really was.
What'd you do?
She came over and we just talked, man. She wasn't here for that long. She was kind of running around doing some stuff, but she just came over to the house and we hung out, and I just got to talk with her for a little bit, and it was awesome. Made her some peanut butter fudge ball things earlier in the day. Had them all wrapped up for her, but it was nice.
Sweet.
One cool thing about the live stream too is that because it's so long, you end up just like seeing all these aspects of people's lives that you might not otherwise have seen. Like sure. I learned that you have a cat. Is that it, or a dog? Is it puppy?
I have
both. Right?
Yeah, I have a cat and I have 2 dogs. I have a German Shepherd named Nova and a little Pomapoo named Khaleesi. I can't really lay claim to Khaleesi. That was the fiancés before we got together. But Khaleesi's cool. I'm coming around to
What
Khaleesi.
about the little one that you said you were going to make a Twitch for? Who's that?
Oh, that's Beans. That's my parents' dogs. That's my dad's dog. I was over there hanging out that day.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. I just got to like see. It seems like you have kind of like a close, warm family. Like you guys were sort of joking around a lot. Like you could tell that you guys kind of have close connections. You know, is that true with your mom as well?
Yeah, it is. Me and my mom are really close. Mom has always been more on the straight and narrow. You know, she's always had a real job, and she's always made a bunch of money, and she's always had a great house and a great car and been on the grind all the time. Dad is a little more lax. Not to say that he's not a hard-working bad mamma jamma, because he is. He's a complete intellectual. But we've always been. Dad was 19 years old.
Did he hear about Obamagate trending today?
I'm sure he did. Sure he did.
Mr. Supernaut is probably having a barbecue right now.
He probably is. That's right.
Yeah, Obamagate was trending with over 1 million tweets today. I thought about your pops. I was like,
I guarantee he's been on that all day.
He probably knows this is going on right now.
You know what? Maybe I'll get him in this call later. We'll ask him about it. But yeah, so Dad was 19 when he had me, so that's always put us really close to age. He's kind of been a best friend first and a dad second my whole life, which kind of led to me being a delinquent when he wasn't really that hard on me back in the day too. But it taught me a lot though. Him just kind of letting me be me, and it's always kept us really, really close. I love that, man.
Yeah. That's what's up.
It's definitely important in life, for sure, right?
It is, man. Family's everything, and mom too, man. I don't know where I'd be without either one of them, for real.
Yeah, I hear
Happy
that.
Mother's Day, Mom, if you're out there. I just told you like an hour, but
yeah.
No.
I know we'd be pretty well off if we never had Obama, though.
Hey, there's that
spying ass motherfucker.
There you go. Little Obama Gate action happening today.
Yeah, I'm trying not to talk that much. I want to respect Mother's Day. We got like 36 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So big things happening today. I mean, we got the BTC halving.
Mm-hmm.
There's huge freaking updates that the one-man freaking army Josh Hensley is doing on Retro Twitch. Boost is doing a lot of updates.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things happening. Obamagate. It's been a good freaking day, dude.
Moisty did a master class in uranium on.
Oh my god, he was going off.
He went off, dude, straight up.
Awesome stuff though, in like breaking it down in an easy way to understand the difference between fission and fusion.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, he was just fucking uranium go burr.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That was fucking awesome. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that.
On Twitch that caught your eye today?
Tons of stuff. Let's see if I could pull some of this up.
I feel like I saw a bunch of stuff too, but
I don't know if you guys saw this, but I made a post. I was a little disappointed. I made a post out that said, if anybody wishes my wife a happy Mother's Day, I'll slash pay them 50 cents, because I thought maybe I get like 30, 40 people doing it. I was like, I got to make it a little manageable.
I totally missed that.
It's better than a bunch of flowers, right? Like, it's all going to make her laugh,
That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I sent her a little 50 cent, a little slap 50 cent pay, and I was like, don't spend it all at the spa.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it.
No, she's hilarious, dude. That meme that she did. If you can't take me at my fast, you can never take me at my furious, or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
With the dolphin and Donk and Diesel, dog. The triple D, dog. Holy shit! And I ain't talking size of titties. We're talking memes.
Wow. And then I posted one of her memes. It was like I wear Heelys to conceal my feelies, and it was like a little 10-year-old, and that was one of hers.
Yes, I saw that.
She's like, man, you're jacking all my memes, She's
Dude, yeah, you need to tell her to get more active. She hasn't posted since that sick ass Furious meme. I think that was the last one she posted.
I know. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, I think especially might be true, a little more true of women, but they tend to like second guess, like, am I posting too much? Is this going to be, within the group dynamic, or is this going to seem out of left field? In fact, my wife's first tweet, she was like, like, I don't think I should post this. And it was one that she made that ended up getting shared a bunch. It was the Britney Spears Twetchny.
Yes.
Like
Yes. We're with the ball.
Like $1 or something like that. I was like, babe, just post it. Who cares? It's all good. It's love.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And especially right now, where it just helps. Everything is a transaction.
Right.
You might get a like for it today. Maybe you don't. Maybe you get 10 a year from now. It gets pulled up, right? And all of a sudden you make 40 cents. You make your money back, whatever the case is. But
exactly.
Twitch is a great environment. Positivity. It's Bright Gang. It's Twitch culture. I mean, again, you got uranium lessons. You got all types of cool stuff that you would have to literally go. Twitch is like a rabbit hole without having to go down a rabbit hole. It's like every post is a freaking rabbit hole, right? Like, of information.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. I've been all in on Twitch since day one, and I love the fact how when Moisey he goes berserk on his rants and everything he posts to Twitter without the link. So he keeps his Twitter kind of formatted, without putting a Twitch link. But he knows he's probably eventually going to get banned sooner or later. It's going to happen, and he's going to have all of his data stored on chain.
For whatever reason.
I was gonna ask you guys, what were you gonna say?
No, sorry, man. Go ahead.
Just I would want to have my Twitches go to Twitter, but the one thing is that I don't always want that giant blue image, can that one get removed when it goes from
Twitch? You just put without link. You put there's Twitch to tweet and then tweet link.
Oh yeah.
So if you uncheck tweet link, it won't have the blue box. It'll look like you just use Twitter.
I'm going to do that right now then, because that's the only reason why I haven't done it, because I just that link blows up and it's so large, you know what I mean? And
I honestly never click that box.
Yeah.
I've lost so many followers, but I've gained a lot of followers so it's kind of balanced out. I lost a bunch of people that get sick and tired of that blue box, right? Yeah. But I gained a lot of people that might be on Twitter and they follow me on Twitter. And if they see the blue box, they click on it and leave a like. So I've always left it on there for the people that follow me on Twitch and follow me on Twitter. So if they're, it's almost like a notification. It's almost like a push notification. If you're getting a push notification from a Twitch from me, like if you have what is it called? Notification setup, right?
Yeah,
right?
like
you have
the
a
bell,
notification setup.
Yeah.
Correct. All you're going to get is my Twitches because I don't use Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I see you got your Twitch hat on and your Twitch Culture Daily shirt on, man. You're pimping out right now.
Yeah, man.
This is like my uniform, dude.
I never got my keychain though, Gage. So I think that was fake news that I won that keychain, man.
You haven't received it yet?
Really?
No, it hasn't come yet.
Peter V got his. I think everybody was
sent out. Hold on now. Let me check my little notes here.
Dookie called the Daz manifesting calling out.
No, remember you said you were going to let Dookie do it, I think, right?
It would appear so. That is on Dookie's list.
I know Dookie was good about sending them all out because Peter V got his. Maybe
I sent Peter V.
It's still in the mail. Oh, you sent Peter V's?
Dang it, though. I swear that you were one of the ones that...
Trish is
no.
Too.
No, I know. I still got to get
You're
Trish.
Not international. You're in the States, right? You're in Oregon, right?
I'm in the States.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna fix all this today, just so you know.
Back another trip to the mailbox.
Yeah, maybe so. And I don't know.
Ones take forever, but
and his either. We got Trisha's looking for hers. Price is Wrong is looking for his.
Yeah, I think Trisha's takes a little while too because of it's international. She's in Canada, right?
I feel like.
I don't know if that.
Okay, so Trisha, I'm gonna get with you because that is on me because I have not sent that.
If anybody hasn't gotten it, you just get with us and we'll double check and make sure everything is good.
I was waiting on a PO box from her, but then that didn't work out, and but we got to talk about that. Anyways.
I know a few people already got theirs.
Yeah.
Well, it does cure Corona, right? That's what I thought.
It does cure Corona.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
it does.
But I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You'll get it before the ventilators get to you.
Exactly.
The ventilators that you don't want. Okay.
Hey, I wanted to go back to a point earlier that you guys were kind of talking about. The stuff you guys were talking about sort of reminded me of it. But it's something that Degan said the other day during our interview with him. And he said that, BSV sort of has its own sort of natural brain wall in a way, right? Like if you made it this far, then you're already smart. So everybody in this community has a really kind of in-depth just insight on the world, I think. I mean, I think that knowing what BSV is and being on this path naturally allows your brain to think in such a way that you kind of know what's up, right? You're fucking based. So, and we've been called InTheBox as kind of a cult within a cult within a cult within a cult. You know, because
Cultception.
yeah, because it's like you have like the crypto that branches into Bitcoin, that branches into BSV, that branches into Twitch, that branches into the box, and so I just want to give a personal shout out, thank you to everybody who made it this far down our stupid little rabbit hole, because I mean it really is kind of a very very interesting community. I mean, I talk about it all the time. Like, I want to make a documentary about all these people because what a rare breed. I mean, seriously, if you're part of
Twitch,
this
the
little
movie.
right, you know, in the box. I don't
Brian
know.
makes a cameo.
Yeah. Well,
Who would they get to play Josh what is it? Jeffrey Perry?
Jeff Perry.
Jeff Perry. Jeff Perry.
Joshua Pettyhue.
The guy that owns Facebook.
James Pretty.
Against
James Pretty.
James
Zuckerberg.
James Petfield.
Zuckerberg, the guy that his forehead is like evolving forward.
Yeah.
Is that what Degan said? How did Degan explain it? That show was hilarious, dude.
I love that show. I love that he went to go out the way he came in, naked, strapped to a rocket.
I'm telling you, man, we gotta start a go/pay me for him. Naked X, we'll call it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm down for that, dude. I want to be there. I want to outlive him then. Like,
What
I don't
about
want
when he
to.
told the story about his last name? That was awesome.
Oh,
When he was like
Egger? The Egger?
Dealer with mixed with he's like the egging. I thought it would like create a bond. Like he's like it would become an L's after the G's like merged. It was like so well thought out. You know what I mean?
Dude, the guy is like
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
Yo, that has gotten out of hand from us naming him to Moisty to now the Jeff whatever Tom Petty. That's fucking hilarious.
George Papadopoulos.
George Papadopoulos.
Yeah.
Out of
Damn,
hand.
I lost my train of thought.
Exactly.
But yeah.
You were talking about something about Obama. I forget what you're
Oh yeah. So Obama was spying on Trump while he was a candidate.
Oh, really?
While he was campaigning. Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
I didn't hear that. Actually, I've been out of off the internet. Actually, my wife is, God bless her soul, that she's like cool with me coming on, being a part of the show right now because like I was like, all right, let's.
Did you
know,
take
it wasn't supposed to fall on Mother's Day, baby.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
yeah, I know. I've been kind of putting up with a little of that myself, but
Tell Jelly Donut I say what's up.
yeah, what's up, Jelly Donut?
What's up, baby? He said,
Hey, I know.
Hey.
That's it.
Yeah.
I did it
But,
Twitch.
So what do you guys think price wise? Gage, what do you think is gonna be the price at the moment? I know we never talk about
What,
it.
of
Very
Bitcoin?
rare. Yeah.
Implying
BTC.
I actually know what the price of Bitcoin is right now.
I heard it's been dumping today. People,
I did see that. I'm not gonna lie.
Right?
I did see that dump.
Right? Who do you think is dumping? Who do you think is dumping all that? Because BSV was nice. It was like 230 the other day.
Yeah,
just
I
a few
mean
days
that's
ago,
the thing,
right?
man. BSV dumped it too, so it's not like they're converting over here, man. Like
Yeah, no, but and that tends to happen, right? Like Bitcoin dumps, and obviously BSV is gonna dump along with it. Which
I wanted to
a lot of
show you. I
people
wanted
were
to talk
saying-
about something today too. Like, okay, so I've mentioned this before that I'm in this cryptocurrency group on Facebook, which I don't go on very often, but oh my God, are these people just completely and there's thousands of them. I mean, there's like 60,000 people or some shit in this Facebook group, and every one of them is talking about like coins I've never heard of, and like talking about like Ethereum is the future, and if you don't get on board the Ethereum train, I'm like,
That
what?
sounds
I'm like,
like
are you
me
guys?
in like 2017.
I'm just
right
like,
before the
what are
big
you guys
bull
even
run.
paying attention to right now?
Bitcoin is the best, dude. What are you
Yeah,
talking
dude,
about?
I just don't
dude?
like. And
It's
it's just
like a fraction of a penny, man. It's gonna go to 1,000, and I'm gonna be a billionaire.
so basically what that is for me. The scariest part about that for me, and I would say that both options are equally scary. And option one is that all of these people are blithering fucking idiots, right? And you have like 96% of the crypto community is filled with morons that don't know what the hell's going on, that aren't keeping up with anything, that are just, I don't even know what they're doing. Like, it's just, I can't get on the same wavelength. Or option two is that we're the big fucking morons, you know?
Yeah.
And that sucks too.
And
But
Well, the thing is that
I would hate to believe that. You know.
well, you know, like there's, you know, you can obviously never tell because there's always a tendency to believe the things that you think. You know what I mean? And you have your own reasons. But hey, I'm not gonna lie. I've been wrong before.
No, I get
you know
it.
what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, like just because I think it doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
And so I think that smart people will actually do other tests besides just what do they think.
Right.
And this is something too that that I've found coming up a little bit. I feel like there's a little bit of both sides in BSV. There's you know, like I think you guys talk about this a lot. There's a group think mentality sometimes with it where it's just you know, like they're just going like this, we're the real Bitcoin, blah la 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 la, you know, and like that's all well and good if they're right, you know, but you know, like I wouldn't just assume that just because I think something I'm right. So I try to gauge other people's not to be punny here, but
No,
I try to
it.
gauge people's you know their opinions and try to feel them out and stuff. And so actually we were talking about, it looks like I didn't actually know that TK might have some guests on his show. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
yeah, well, he actually he hit me up earlier, and I don't even want to spoil his surprise or whatever, but he hit me up earlier and was like, "Can you add a
Oh, it's
couple?
gonna be hot.
Can you add a couple people or add a specific person to the vibe host so that they can come on with me?"
It's gonna be hot.
So it is gonna. Be
Well, TK is part of this group that, you know, like I'm sure that it's a larger group of friends than just the ones that show up on
Oh yeah.
on their shows. But it's Steve Patterson and Derek McGill and Isaac Morehouse and TK Coleman,
Right.
and they do some great shows. Number one, because they aren't complete morons, so that's just like the first
Far
thing.
from it.
You have
They're
to be
smart
as long as you're
dudes.
not a moron, even if I disagree with you, I'll still listen to you.
Yep.
So they're not morons. And then number two, they actually, you know, like are behind a lot of the reasons for big block Bitcoin. But what was cool about them originally was that they were sort of split between which ones are on the Bitcoin Cash side, which ones are on the BSV side.
Yeah.
And more they've sort of been coming to the BSV side because BSV is the one that's showing up. You know, like if this was a basketball game, we're the ones that are running up the score right now.
That's it.
And so I think that they're coming to that side because they're seeing like a more demonstration of the principles instead of just you know, discussion of the principles, etc. But I have to say that, you know, like I know that you guys know, but recently Calvin Ayre kind of came out, and then Elon Moisty ended up taking a screenshot of a now deleted Calvin Ayre tweet that called them moronic children for a post that they made, which they were talking about some of the hype and some of the bullshit in BSV, which, you know, like I actually really appreciated that they are discussing it openly. And, you know, like adults should be allowed to discuss things that they have questions about. And so I thought it was a little bit of a weird move by him to have these people just asking questions and sort of like be looked at as they're like, you know, enemies of the state or something like that. Because
they're not 100. It's not an echo chamber. You know, they have their. It's called being a free thinker.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to understand that not everybody's gonna think like you, and just because they don't think like you, it does not make them moronic children. Far from it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And even if
we would probably have moronic children on this 24-hour live stream if we had no choice tonight.
I think we already do, yo.
Thank the God. Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna put us out there, but whatever.
I want to talk about a couple things in the chat really quick, guys, before we go on. This is just some funny shit. Ant-Man says Obama has the hots for Trump. KP Dad says no, he loves Michael, his wife. I appreciate that. And Dookie Love, man, he says Ethereum be making moves though. I don't really know. I don't really keep up with Ethereum. I mean,
Pepadaps, bro.
probably.
Well, Ethereum did blow up, like recently. We were all the way down to the 130s and stuff like that, and then they shot up. But the thing is that I don't get behind it because I just think it's like there's a lot of smarter people that have better reasons probably for why they don't like it, but I just think it's too expensive. It's just too like circle jerk kind of thing. So
Yeah, I just don't really know.
I looked at a transaction the other day that I made. I was showing someone Twitch, and I think I had Daniel Growitz had sent me like some BSV for some art that I did or something like that. So it was more of a sizable transaction than one that I had gotten for just Twitch. But I was looking at that, and I was looking at the fee that got paid for like even just moving something like $50 or something like that, and the fee that got paid, it was so minuscule. It's like, how can you argue with results?
That's also why I think Randy had made a post not too long ago, something in regards to like Pepadaps, which you can, I guess, build. Again, I'm not a programmer. I'm just learning fucking HTML right now, right? But supposedly, I guess you can build things on top of Ethereum, right? Ethereum, whatever it's called, right? I don't even know what the fuck it's called. But you can move small amounts, right, from wallet to wallet. But even the fees might seem small, it is not feasible for those fees when it comes down to microtransactions. So Randy was trying to say, just because you could move little amounts of money between Ethereum to other users does not mean that microtransactions are something that you can do on Ethereum properly, like you can do on BSV. All right. So, for example, let's say you were to send 100 Satoshi. I don't know. And again, I don't know the exact math. I don't know how the fees work on Ethereum, but I guess it's too high to do a microtransaction. So let's say you send 100 Satoshis, the fee's probably going to be, or whatever. Maybe you can't even move that much because it's not worth it for them because the fees would be too high.
WW Ocean in the chat says, Ethereum blew up to 10 cents a transaction. That's steep.
Yeah.
That's steep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So 10 cents, that's 5 Twitches make fucking infinite amount of money on.
By the way,
but
WW Ocean, I'm not sure who you are, to be honest, but I've seen you in here in our chats
a bunch of times.
A bunch of times. So thank you for being a regular. Yeah, thanks for being a regular. I'm not sure who you are, man, but thanks for sticking around with us as much as you do, for real. Same with and I know 90% of the rest of all these people. I'm just gonna give a quick shout out to the people that are seriously loyal to us, that are always hanging out with us. Ant-Man, Kane the Hurricane, Price is Wrong, KP Dad. You guys are awesome, man. Trisha One Love, obviously. We really appreciate all you guys sticking with us as long as you have.
Brian OIA, I think is that OIA from Twitch. He's like a new guy around here that started cool. Like he was vibing from the very beginning.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Like once he jumped on Twitch, we called him out as a new user one time, I think, or something like that. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's the green circle, right? Isn't he a green circle?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Cool. He's a very new user. Big ups to you, man. Thank you for joining us. We hope you stick around, like Kane and Ant-Man and WW Ocean. I think WW Ocean, wasn't he in one of the memes? His name is different in.
He says he's sound effects. Felix Zenkar.
What's your user number so we could give you a shout out, man?
Yeah, give us that user number. And Precision Human here has a good question. With the global monetary supply on BSV in the future, what would 1 Satoshi be worth? Man, that's a really hard question. I mean, that really just totally depends on how far it really goes.
So we played poker last night, and actually this is something that I'd like to see us do a little more of. The poker night was so much fun.
It was fun.
We were just shooting the shit, talking shit to each other, stealing each other's blinds, like making big bluffs, and Peter V ended up almost taking it down. He got his stack all the way up to almost 5,000 Satoshi, which the website will show you exactly how much that that is in dollars.
One Satoshi, I think, was like
5,000 now, right? So,
Yeah.
so like currently a Satoshi is about 5,000 Satoshi is about a penny. So, like, first of all, you'd have to look at how much, if BSV became the monetary system, you'd have to wonder, are we using the BSV, the native currency that is the block reward, or are we talking about a tokenized fiat, like global fiat that's put on top of it? Either way, that would relate to how much a Satoshi is worth. But, obviously, if you were only transacting in Satoshi, it would be a lot different. But like, I think
that means that one Satoshi would be worth one Satoshi, right?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
It depends on how many eggs it's worth, right? You have to compare it to something else,
Exactly.
right?
That's the thing is you have to base it on. I mean, it kind of just goes down.
Or how many like
right
Joshua Petty signatures you could get for one Satoshi? You know what I mean? So
As market cap goes up, surely minimum microtransaction would go up. Yeah, in theory, yeah.
I thought fees are supposed to go down the higher that BSV goes up. Again, I'm not an economist,
See, this
and
is
I
what I
don't know
couldn't figure out
exactly
the other day.
how all of this
Right,
works in every single form and fashion. But I do know that when I send out a twitch for those 2 cents, I don't see the fees.
Yeah, and
you get what I'm saying?
I guess it's just going to get to a point where it's like,
Am I going to start seeing the fees, or our Twitch is going to start costing 4 cents because the fees 2 cents? If it goes, you get what I'm saying. So I'm thinking,
and if it's a
from what I
Satoshi
understand,
based, if they get a fixed amount of Satoshis per transaction, then if it scales to the point where they only get one Satoshi per transaction, then there's no. Where do you go from there? That's sort of my concern. Like if it scales to the point where it's one Satoshi per transaction that you owe a miner or whatever, then like how do you because you can't make a half a Satoshi, that doesn't work that way. So
that would be like a tokenized or whatever, right? That would be like a tokenization of it or something,
exactly.
right? You
would have to break it down further. But honestly,
but
I feel like
what people were saying, that
if it got
the
to
only
that
reason
point,
you would have to tokenize it is if you're running out, right?
Yeah.
Or I mean, remember, it's 21 million Bitcoin, and then each Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshi, hence I guess the 21E8 thing, right? So that's how many Satoshis there are, right?
There's a whole
or whatever
lot
the case is. Yeah. WW Ocean says, I was just watching Craig's speech from February in China. He said fees were about 1/100 of a penny, but that's about 1,000 times too much. Correct. So he said the fees need to keep on going down.
He said the same thing
right?
at CoinGeek in London too. The exact same thing.
So even though the situation that we're in right now, so when we make a Twitch, we don't feel the fees really, right? I mean, you're paying 2 cents for a Twitch, you don't really feel it.
Yeah.
But he's saying that's even too much, right?
Yeah. So Precision Human, to answer your question, I would say go back and watch the CoinGeek London videos of Craig. I think he kind of talks about this particular subject a little bit in that. And I am definitely not Craig effing Satoshi Wright, and I cannot answer these questions like he can. So I would just say, instead of listening to me blabber about something I really don't know enough about to feel good about talking about it, I would just point you to that, because I think he does cover that.
I do want to just take a second here too, because I think there's a segue to another subject. I don't really pay attention too much to anything outside of BSV, just because I found what I love. I love it. It works for me. That's good enough. Yeah. I'm not trying to. The thing is that I understand that I'm not smarter than the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And I found something that works for me. I'm not trying to mess around. But my buddy said that they're doing like some pre-sales of like Libra or something like that on Facebook. Does anyone know anything about that can share something like that?
Me personally, I don't know too much about Libra. I heard that it's been tried or whatever, but they can't because of patents or I don't really
too
like ever since I got into BSV, I've really focused most of my research on BSV. Like you were saying earlier, like hopefully we're in the right side, right? Right. Because I haven't gone out and researched other coins, maybe aside from Frog.Vision, right? F.V is the only other coin that I've researched.
That's the coin that researches you. That's what that's.
Dude, that makes so much sense because I went in there and it just kept trying to tell me stuff about myself.
It's leaps above everything else too. So
yeah. Frog.leaps ahead of the competition, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess what I was getting at with the Libra thing is just, one of the things about BSV is obviously it's, you take away the intermediary, right? Like Daniel Krawitz gave us that great talk where he talked about, the difference between using the term trusted third party, and that has a specific legal definition, and then the intermediary. And so oftentimes how it's used in cryptocurrency is more of the intermediary, but so you take away the intermediary, and when you do that, you enable those low fees for transactions because there's no possibility of sending like reversing the payment and stuff like that. So that it strikes me like if BSV if Facebook Libra is trying to create a currency that would compete in some way. Right off the bat, you lose the ability to do the microtransactions because de facto Facebook becomes the third party intermediary that's going to be resolving these like, thing and I accidentally sent them to this thing. So I don't see how like a Libra currency can, be anything more than just coupons for Facebook services, really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Juan says pre-pandemic Bitcoin equals BTC, post-pandemic Bitcoin equals BSV.
Awesome.
Smiley face with sunglasses.
And
right.
Also, cheers right back at you, Precision Human. I wish I could have answered your question a little better.
Yeah, I love the people that we have in here today. There's so many people just leaving comments and engaging. So I mean, this is a big event. This is history. This specific halving is never going to happen again. This is the halvening, dude. This is what we've been waiting for, Gage.
And neither is this 24-hour live stream. If I have anything to say,
no.
Yeah, we've gotten we're one rolling iceberg away, gentlemen.
Yeah, man, that's it.
I'm pretty stoked about it. You gotta admit, Gage, this is gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be fun, man. It's definitely gonna be fun.
I'm feeling it.
Definitely gonna be fun. I'm still here. Yeah. I'm going dark for a second, but I'm still here.
That's okay. One thing I want to talk about real quick, and it's kind of funny that Gage just stepped out because I wanted to switch it over to you, Andre. But people in the chat need to know that really you were the driving force behind pulling this all together. In fact, you faced a little speculation from the team, right? Like, do you want to discuss how maybe like you saw this playing out and what the process was of conveying your image to bring this all together into like a lucid idea,
I love the idea of the first one, right? And when you had brought it up to the boys and they were like, yo, Manifestable gave us an idea to run a 24-hour live stream. What do you think? You know me, I love the crazy shit. So I was like
3 months or something. I wasn't talking about the next day. You guys like pulled it together.
The next day, an hour later. It wasn't even the next day.
Yeah, it was an hour later.
And it ended up being more of a challenge, right? Because trying to get through it was not easy. We didn't have any idea. We had no plans. We didn't know what we were going to talk about. We had no idea if anybody would come on. We had no idea if anybody would even watch it. Right? You passed out on stream. I passed out like halfway through it. and Misha Pelt came on. Hunter was there. They held it down. Customized.
I'm gonna
was
jump
on there
right back
for-
in right now and talk about that part of the show because that was my favorite part. It's like I had stepped away for a little bit and like Manifestable, like when I left, he was full force, man. You were wound
Oh,
up.
yeah.
You were talking,
He's
dude.
like, "I got
you
this."
were like just head full of steam, man, all day. And then like I stepped away for a little bit. Wasn't even gone an hour, dude. Something like that. Come back and peek on the stream and like. All I see is you, like, just straight crash, dude. Like, laid out. I was like, yeah. Right there, still streaming, sleeping, hard as you could go. I was like, yes.
And Hunter is like the most like mellow dude ever, and
Oh, yeah.
my son he's sitting right next to me. He asked me to say that his name is Hunter.
Oh, cool.
He's right here.
What's up, Hunter?
Yeah, but Hunter was he ended up being basically Misha was there listening to him, and I think maybe even a Customized was on, but he was working. So
Yeah.
So Hunter was basically the only one that was talking, and basically he started going into this spiel where he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go then. Here's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about what do we do? What do we do when we think about stuff? When we think about stuff, how do we think about it? What if we do? What if we think about it? And how about like and so he just like rolls on this like stream of Hunter's like ways of breaking down like what is a thought? What if we just think that we have a thought? How does that thought get there? And so I just was like, all right, at least if I'm gonna pass on stream, I got Hunter Hunter blessed right now to just sort of like talk me into this like coma right now.
Yeah. This is a cool little comment. Precision Human says, can you imagine a searchable commercial P2P style chat roulette app where you can search, I want to learn Spanish, and you can find people selling that and connect, and if you don't like it, you can just end the stream. That's a really cool idea. Honestly, there's so many, like, if you can compare any sort of normal app that you can find on the App Store, you can build it on BSV. You can build it P2P. There's so many options. Like we were talking about, Degan was talking about Baymail a little bit, and implementing Boost POW, and then you can, and then there's the whole subject of ANNE, ANNE, and all of that. But
Scatman's ANNE.
That's it, man.
You've been doing a little bit of research on that, right? Because I've been hearing you talk a lot about it. You're pretty excited about that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about
I
what
really
what
like
you've researched?
ANNE, dude. I really like ANNE, and I'll dive a little bit into it, but it's massive, and I want to do maybe later in the week we'll do a full episode on ANNE. I would really like
I'm
that.
down
Actually.
for that.
I'd really like
Yeah.
that. So we'll discuss this more at length in a later time. But basically, the reason that I think ANNE is so special is because, obviously, if you're on things like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Snapchat or Google or anything that you do on the internet, your data is being harvested, right? And it's being collected to give you ads that are recommended for you, okay? We all know this. Well, what ANNE does is allows you to kind of build your own personal profile of your preferences, which is much, much more advanced than the kind of data that Facebook and Google and et cetera harvest from you. You build your own profile about the shit that you like and the stuff that you want to see. And then content is not even necessarily filtered for you, but it's sorted for you so that you see the kind of shit that you're interested in before. And I'm not talking about ads. I'm talking about content. Okay, so if you're on Instagram,
Correct. Shit you want to see.
Shit you want to see, and you've built this yourself. You've chosen this yourself. You didn't have some kind of bullshit Facebook algorithm that heard you talking about razors that wants to sell you Gillettes now. Okay, we're talking about
and you're talking about a Razer mouse or something, right?
Exactly, right. And so it's all about like, and the wormhole is the rabbit hole is very deep with this. It's very in depth way that this all works. Because you do set your own profile, but then it learns, and you kind of allow it to learn, and it asks you very specific questions sometimes, and just the way that it learns is very clever. But basically, it's about sorting the metanet based on your own personal preferences. It's the same thing that Cambridge Analytica is doing, except for I'm doing it. I'm choosing. I'm controlling my own data. I'm making my own decisions, and I'm choosing the content that I want to see. And I think, frankly, it's going to change everything. I mean,
Yeah, but you were saying it as kind of like weird questions, but is it really anything weirder than what Google's asking you? And the difference, they're mining that data, right? I mean,
yeah, the difference
this
is
more like Anne is yours, right? She belongs
Exactly.
to you. That data is not
Exactly.
going anywhere else, right?
Yes.
Not like with Google. Google's taking your data. Oh, tell me more, and then
Yes.
it's going to freaking whoever.
Yes. So there's not like there's no massive
with
database.
More costume changes than
Right.
with more costume changes than Britney Spears at
Right.
in a tour concert.
Yeah, this is the original Fry Guy and Shake and Meatwad right here.
Yeah, dude.
That's the
That's
homemade
great.
boss.
That is cool
I
as
used to
hell.
I used to make a lot of clothes for myself. And
Number
stuff, so-
one in the hood, G.
And
You know,
wow.
you know what
So
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but we just got in the chat. We saw that Daniel Crowith is up in 1 hour. I don't know if you guys know this, but I do a mean Daniel Crowith impersonation.
Oh, no. Let's
this
hear
I
it.
gotta see. This I gotta see.
So I've never done this before. I just know that I can do it in my head. So hopefully it sounds all right to you guys.
I'm really excited either way.
Okay. I'm really nervous right now, but all right. So this is Daniel Crowith. So
Is that it?
if you want to earn more Bitcoins, listen to me. How do you think we're
That was yeah.
All right. That's my Daniel Crowith impersonation.
That's great. Nailed it.
That,
Out of the
that
park.
definitely worked. And it's factual as well. It was with real facts.
Yeah,
I
no.
love Daniel so much.
No lies
he
detected.
is like a god, you know.
He is, dude.
a,
He's the man.
He's basically. Have you seen Princess Mononoke?
Yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, he's the forest god, you know, like he's the forest god of BSV, you know, like the only thing is don't try and cut off his head, man. He gets very mad, but have you ever listened to his breakdowns of movies?
Maybe. Where? On his YouTube?
He has so Joshua Hensley was on here not that long ago, and he had a comment that just I see Daniel's laughing in the chat, so
Yeah.
I'm happy that he enjoyed that. I'll try and do it again for him maybe later, but yeah, Joshua Hensley said that, you know, there was a great talk by Daniel. It was called I Think I Found Out N-Chain's Business Model, and he said, if you haven't watched this chat, or if you haven't watched this talk by Daniel Crowith, go and watch it right now. And I didn't have the time to watch it right when I was watching that, but I did open up a tab of it, and I waited until I had a free second to watch it. But it was an awesome video. Daniel is very good at basically, I think the way that Daniel's brain works is he surveys information and he, you know, like distills it into chunks for him so that, you know, like obviously he wants to keep the information that's useful and not the information that's not. So, so first he has to survey everything, and then he needs to process it, and then he needs to determine whether or not it's useful or not. And, you know, so he goes through very, very like methodical steps for how he does this, but he doesn't realize that he's teaching this as well. Like great teachers, when they're talking about a subject, you know, they don't realize all of the things that they're communicating about how they arrived at those conclusions beyond just what the conclusion is, you know?
Right.
And yeah, so I thought that video was awesome. I went on a 72-hour binge watch of just Daniel Krawitz's videos where I would listen to nothing else except his voice. And it was awesome. And he does these really in-depth breakdowns of the current, you know, I play Magic the Gathering, so they call it the meta. I know that it has a name in BSB.
End game, dude. End game.
Yeah. The meta is like what is hype? What is going around? You know, like when you show up and everybody's got that burn deck, that's what the meta is. The meta is the burn deck. So you better have a deck that can beat a burn deck, you know? Mm-hmm. And so Daniel is kind of giving these critiques of the meta of Bitcoin, not just what the best ideas are, but also the way, like, if you can imagine it like an old man who lived by the sea for a really long while, and he's not just telling you what the weather is today, but he's talking about, you know, like the tides coming in and out for the past 3 years, and, you know, the schools of fish that have come by and stuff, and like the types of knowledge that is interlaced in his I don't know if you guys saw this, but on Twitch today there was that meme that was going around that was like, data, which is just circles that are empty, and then information, which
I love
is the
that.
same.
Yes.
That was awesome,
that
right?
was so awesome.
And that's what Daniels is for me. Like, Daniels is, I think that what that is it's layers, right? We're talking about these circles are getting layers. So first you have to get the data, then you have to fill in some information about the data, but the information is unrelated until it becomes knowledge, which is when the information interconnects like neurons. But the knowledge is useless without the insights, right? Which is like the glowing points, and then the wisdom is the path through, So Daniel's videos are like, just at every level and beyond those levels of the entire history of Bitcoin. But he does the videos in this like really hilarious and also educational breakdowns of movies, So he does, like, one of his best videos, I think, or one of the ones that speaks the most to me, is about Groucho Marx. I'm not even really sure what the movie is that he's describing, but he talks about Groucho Marx being are you familiar with Groucho Marx?
I'm not really, no.
Okay, so he's like like an old movie star with an iconic mustache, and what he does in his films, at least in this specific film, is he comes into a party and he's basically like a vagabond, but he's a vagabond who can like wear nice clothes and can kind of seem like he fits in with the society. And so, but he's filled with a lot more creative. Okay, so the movie's called Animal Crackers because it just reminded me in the chat. So he's filled with a lot of stories, and he captivates people's imaginations by being like a rhythmic talker and by like confusing people and getting them to
I'm gonna rename this show Animal Crackers.
And but it's great because he's really doing these reviews, like movie reviews, and like I would listen to Daniel review a book, I'd listen to him review a movie, I'd listen to him review like the weather, but he does like these movie reviews and he ties them into the narrative of the movie, relates to Bitcoin in these specific ways, and it's really insightful because it's like, where are you going to get content like how Animal Crackers relates to the current state of BSV? You know what I mean? Besides Daniel Krawitz.
Yeah.
So,
that's like you guys. You guys are the Animal Crackers. Have animal in the crackers.
I want a cracker.
I got this, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my little meme of my setup. It was when we had first started the Discord channel. I think I put it in there.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I stepped up a little bit, but I still got my ghetto light over here.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's very nice.
And I want to say, Andres, your audio is so much better today, man. Like, did you change something with that?
He's got that
Well,
microphone
the fan
not
is
in his
running right
face.
now because it is a little bit hot inside, but I think my gain was just way too high.
It was very high.
So I kind of turned it down. I don't know if you guys could hear the fan in the background right now or not.
Yeah,
But I tried to like do some settings there.
well, your voice sounds perfect right now. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, you do sound good.
It's when the fan goes on is when the audio starts getting messed up. But since it's so hot in Florida, like
You gotta have the fan.
the AC is always running, because if you know, unless you set it at fucking 78, which is disgusting with the humidity, it's just gonna keep running and running.
So are you inside right now, Andre?
No, I'm in the backyard, man. I'm chilling, man.
I thought you
chilling.
were.
We have
Or something like
a
that?
screened-in patio.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Yes.
So, do you live with other people?
Yeah, I live with my brother.
So tell me about your brother, because you were telling me about him, like, and he seems like a hep cat, you know?
Oh, my brother is talk about people who, like, go down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
My brother it kind of reminds me of Degan in a way. Like, if something interests him, he's going to research every single freaking facet of that topic, right? So Degan wanted to know why he's not going bald. Actually, the opposite. He's, you know, instead of having a 4-head, now homeboy got a 3-head, when usually you're supposed to have a 5-head at that point, you know? So he wanted to research why that's happened. My brother is the same way, dude. And then he will, like, it won't be enough. Like, getting the information will not be enough for him, and he'll have to go down the rabbit hole and try to find more information and more information. So then that leads to wanting to learn about another subject that you found in that little rabbit hole. So one big thing that he's been doing a lot of research on is that Trivium curriculum. Like, it's almost like an apprentice mastership type thing, right? So that was really, really big. But we've been best friends ever since I can remember. So we're both kind of like conspiratorial, right? So we bounce little conspiracies off each other, but then he has his certain conspiracies that he believes that I don't believe, and I have my certain conspiracies that I believe and he doesn't believe, you know. But we've never even been in a physical fist fight, ever, not once. So with each other. With each other. I ain't gonna say I ain't never knocked a fool out with, but not with my brother. So we've always had that respect. We've gotten angry, and the longest we've hadn't talked for, I think, was 9 months, and that was probably one of the hardest times for me. I would definitely say that.
Yeah.
Because we've always been close. Anything, I will come home, and he's, you know, the first person I see, the first person I talk to, I could tell him literally anything. There's not anything that I might be embarrassed or ashamed, but I could tell him anything. Maybe I don't tell him everything, but I know I can, you know.
Yeah.
So,
You're a lady?
but he's very deep.
Do you have a lady?
Yeah.
And yeah, because the first time I talked to you, you said you took some time out of your day. I love that if ever I need to talk to you, you're always make yourself available. But you said, you know, you took some time away from her and hung out with me. It was the first time we ever communicated, and you said, like, I'm so thankful that you're joining, you know, in the community, you're participating with the you know, in the box, and if you need anything, I'm here to talk to you. But I'll be right back, because I got to go handle my business really quick.
You know how it is, man. You know, and I'll admit live right here that I haven't been the greatest, you know, and I had made some harsh mistakes that I probably shouldn't have made, and I've been trying to work on being a better person and making better decisions at certain aspects of my life. Right. So, like, before I was really bad at monetary decisions, which I had gotten better with. But then there was other decisions that I was really bad with as well. I would make poor decisions in other aspects of life. And sometimes that kind of like came over into the relationship. And even though I didn't, I didn't want to see it in that way, I was being very selfish. And even though I do consider myself to be a very loving, very generous, very humble, very kind person, but we all have our faults, and I'm not going to say everybody has nastiness inside them or bad or whatever, but sometimes as humans we make some. I don't have very many. The point is, I don't have very many regrets, but there is a couple regrets that I have, and I'm trying to work on fixing those mistakes. I know I can't take them back, but maybe I could fix that mistake, right?
The only thing that's perfect in this universe is the universe itself, brother.
I hear that. Freaking hear that.
It's a part of it. So ain't that perfect?
Yeah. So and the good thing is that she is not only very forgiving, very loving, and that's why if I always, like you said, I always try to be available. But if it's like, I feel it that she's like not having it, that she needs that time, then yeah dude, I'm at this point right now it's like F the world, I stop everything. Like that time I was gone for a few days. It was just not too long ago, right before I got my computer, right before I got the laptop. But I needed to spend that time, so. But the cool thing is right now with the whole COVID thing, it has given me a lot of time to be on. And I love everybody in the Discord chat. I love everybody that watches. I love everybody that always reaches out. I love everybody that allows me to reach out to them when I need help, like now with, whatever I'm doing. And everybody's always so open. That's why I love this community. I think I mentioned it earlier that the Twitter community is so toxic. I've been in so many different communities, from gaming communities to political communities to crypto communities to this to that, and there's nothing like the Twitch community. There's no such thing as crypto Twitch. There's no such thing as political Twitch. There's no such thing as whatever Twitch, gay Twitch. There is no trans Twitch. It's just Twitch, right? There is no real division. Everybody loves each other,
and also
no matter what.
Twitch kind of forces you a little bit to interact with perspectives that aren't necessarily your own, and it's like we were talking about before, like adults can have questions about things that they participate with. Like, I think blind allegiance is, it's silly to expect of anyone. And anyone that wants to expect blind allegiance, it's funny because Twitch costs 2 pennies, right? Like when it comes down to it, there's a little bit clicking and you got to meet Anthony, but the last hurdle is you got to have 2 cents, and that was the hurdle that actually kept me out of it for a long time, because I didn't have 2 cents in my money button, and I couldn't make a Twitch because of that. But I was active on Twitter, and Animal Vision posted something, and he said, hey, if you click this link and you follow it, and you sign up for Twitch from this link, I will /pay you $1, right? And I had already signed up for Twitch, and I just didn't have any money. So I was like, well, I'm going to answer his Twitter. And he said, just post your username. So I was like, well, I'm going to answer it. And I hope he doesn't realize that I didn't click his link, but I posted my username, because I was like, I got to get some money in it, And so he ended up coming along and he followed me, and I thought, okay, so I had 8 cents in my account, so I got to make my first couple Twitches fire, and I think I talked about this before, but my first Twitch was, hey guys, I came up with a really great concept for my first Twitch. I'll let you guys know about it, but it's going to be awesome. Wait till you see it, you know? And that was like it, you know? And then I had like 3 or 4 people that commented like, all right, that was pretty funny, you know, like that was pretty good. And so I was like, perfect, you know, like every twitch was like, all right, I just earned myself another twitch, you know, like I was like, keep going. And at the time I'd had some money that was in a different coin through doing the Coinbase Earn program, you know what I mean? And so, but they didn't allow me to get BSV. So I had to transfer that all around, and it was going, and we have prices wrong in the chat. He's saying it was 25 cents at first to Twitch. So that would have been like, I could not do that if it was 25 cents, man. Yeah, so, you know, like, so I needed to, so the point was that I had some BSV, but it was locked up and it was moving around I had to get it into this exchange first, and then I had to get it out of my Coinbase, etc. And so eventually kind of the dam broke. Animal got me my first couple pennies to make myself known to everybody. And then I was able to just sort of get my money in there and start twitching. And I try not to think about it in terms of money, you know, like I'm not here to try to earn money from other people. Like it's nice that my content can pay for itself eventually, but you know, like I said, Daniel needed some artwork done for one of his upcoming videos, and he contracted me to create that artwork. So he ended up paying me, you know, like for a couple pieces, and he paid me in BSV. So now my account is really flush. Like I have some BSV to splash around. So the first thing I started doing, actually before Daniel even sent me the money, I sent him $5 back. I was like, listen, whatever we agreed to about this, you get $5 back, because you have been instrumental in helping me to sort out the drama of Bitcoin in my head. He really helps be like a guide for me in that. So I need to send him money. And basically I started immediately slash paying all of the content creators, because that's what the culture is about, right? It's about like, stop trying to suck on the teat of like all of the things that are free, because they're not free. Like someone spent time to learn all that stuff. Like Daniel has spent time to learn all of this knowledge, and he's sharing it. And like, you know, like, yes, he's sharing it on YouTube and it's free for anyone to watch, but he's given me way more information that is valuable than someone else that I would give $10 on the street to or something like that. So why wouldn't I give him some money for what he's given me, you know? So it's like, I took it as a sign of, okay, I have some money in my account now, and I'm going to start sending out to the people that I think are, you know, doing the community a service, you know?
Yeah, I'm hoping that one day, with all the services that are gonna eventually come out of BSV, that you can eliminate your Hulu, you could eliminate your Netflix, you could eliminate this, you could eliminate that, save all that money, and use that money to pay the content creators that you enjoy, you know? And I think one of the big reasons that we do try to stream every single day, Monday through Friday, is because right now there isn't that much original content on Twitch as far as it comes to like podcasts, whatever the case. And look at the numpties, they're doing freaking amazing. And it shows people want the content. So if you're watching in the stream right now, for example, and we've never done this before. Oh, and there's my boy Dux. Dux, tell him we never did this before. We even were like, what the hell are we gonna do? And look at us, almost like 3 months later, a little bit more, whatever the case is. I'm not even sure. February 1st, and look where we're at now. I mean, this community is so great. What they do, brother. I see you took a step out of Degan's book with the flannel.
Oh, is that right?
But I like yours better because it looks like
my flannel.
blocks, big blocks.
Yeah, always got some flannel. It's cold up here.
BTC
This ain't Florida.
It's humid as fuck out here. It's raining. But people I think are hungry for content on Twitch, and if, for example,
Dookie Love in the house. That's what I'm talking about.
In the motherfucking house.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's up, dude?
Look at the numpties. They're doing freaking amazing. I think there's a need for more.
We're gonna battle them.
Dude, that's my favorite
I want a
meme.
battle.
That's meme of the week for
It's gonna
me.
be a rap battle, a meme battle.
I love
you
that
guys
thing.
pick the battle that
Choose
you
it.
posted.
They
I
can
like
choose the
that you
battle.
They can
posted.
yeah,
no,
they-
like Anchorman style, like you posted.
Yeah,
I think,
if you want to
Anchorman
have a
battle's
straight up
perfect.
Anchorman
that's the
battle,
only way we're gonna have a chance.
We'll talk to TK about that when he gets on.
Manifestable will step in.
That's it. That's it. We got
Believe
backups.
me.
I got backups.
Yeah, for sure.
Either Manifestable or we'll get Dan.
Y'all, check this out right here. You know what that is right
Oh,
there?
you made the milkshake?
Little Oreo milkshake, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, snap.
What'd you make your stepmother earlier? She posted that shit on Twitch a minute ago, and that was good.
did she
Some
really?
Peanut butter balls or something?
Yeah, we did like chocolate dipped peanut butter balls.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, Heather's kind of she's ambitious.
That was something.
She loves that
That
shit,
was
man.
something.
It was actually super easy to make, man. You just take peanut butter, powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla extract. You just whip it all up together and just make little balls and dip them in chocolate and send them on their way. They're freaking amazing.
They look fancy.
They were, man. They were good.
And,
So I got kind of a little conundrum. I don't know if that's the right word.
I gotta go look at that.
So I had to go in and count the meats tonight. I just got back from doing that.
shit.
And I'm supposed to go in at like 5 o'clock in the morning and finish counting the rest of the meat.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking,
Does that mean you
just,
work tomorrow then or no?
yeah, well, just counting the meats like in the morning. I'm thinking about
the
just
morning.
staying up all night.
There you go.
That's
Putting an
probably the route
all-nighter?
to go. Then, I don't know. Then I won't be around tomorrow at all because I'll be fucking
Just get
asleep.
some of those Missouri crystals.
Yeah, you're right. That was some shit. Doofy Drops 1. Check it out. Learn about the Missouri crystals.
Yeah, I wish they could watch Dookie Drops too, but we got a fucking strike for that one. And it was just literally all memes.
I think it all got deleted too. I think it's gone.
Yeah.
We can't even put it on library now because I think it's gone.
You don't have a backup of it? Do we have? No, I think we have a backup
No, because
of it, don't we?
I wiped my old computer and gave it to my son. So
No, do we have it on Zoom on the cloud storage?
Sorry, what are we looking for?
The Dookie
Drops
Drops
2,
that
the
we have
meme-
to delete off
the meme video.
YouTube.
Oh, it's gone off It's gone off YouTube.
Yeah.
it banned it because it showed. I think it was because of
Oh,
it had
Elon Musk giving birth to Spiff out his ass.
It had Kermit's penis or something.
It's Kermit's
Like,
penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a fake furry Kermit penis that was like.
It's the
this
one that's
big.
on the graph, right? Wasn't it? On the
No, I had it at CoinGeek, and I had
yeah.
I had Jimmy Wynn like checking him out from behind the curtain.
You went to CoinGeek, Dookie?
Oh man.
No.
Hey, guys, what do you guys think about for the last like 20 minutes going rolling through some Twitch posts and then getting Cosmos set up for his sesh?
Let's do it.
Some shit.
We can do that. Let me see what I can see what I can get set up here.
I got a fancy arm like Ian now.
I think we do it just like you said, just whip right through it, scroll right through it. This is gonna be like Twitch Culture Live scroll through edition. Like, just go with the flow, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure it might happen.
Make
Some
sure I
other
get this.
people might go. Wouldn't it be funny if some other people did their own Twitch Culture Daily while they had it?
That is funny, actually. I hope that happens.
Like,
Oh, that looks good right there.
the numbers would have
Holy
signed up and done that probably would
Are
have
you
been.
guys?
Oh my god.
Do you
I
see
gotta
that?
say real quick, my son just said, you gotta do what the Twitch God told you to do. And I was like, the Twitch God? I was like, who is that? And he's like, you know, the blue deer with the
Twitch God.
And he said that I need to listen to him, and I because I think he overheard my story, like if you want to earn bitcoins, listen to me. And so he comes up and he whispers in my ear like, "Hey, you better listen to him. I want some of those bitcoins."
So here's my conundrum, and I'm glad that I'm actually in a situation where other people can see this. Okay, so
It's flashing.
yeah, what's
I
up
see
with
it.
that? Does anybody know? Has anybody
I
seen
don't
that?
know what it is, bro.
Yeah, so the top of my screen, anytime I share
The
screen,
top of your.
Yeah, it's only.
Yes, I like it.
I'm not seeing it.
I don't.
I don't get it. What are you talking about?
So
It's flashing. If you look at if you watch
The address
screen.
bar.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd thing. It only happens when I share on Discord. It's the only thing that it does that. If I pick it up
it's
off
like a party, dude. It's like a rave party.
It's like a total party.
I fucking
So.
love it. It's
Take
like it almost knows that today is the 24-hour vibe stream.
That's
Maybe
it.
it's like Morse code, dude. Maybe it's talking to us, dude.
Yeah, maybe it's Ann.
That's Ann, dude.
It's like you know when Weird Science makes the woman out of the
Yes.
you know, that's what it is. It's Ann, dog.
See, it does it on my actual screen. Like now, I'm just looking at Twitch here. I'm not even looking at the Discord share, and it's just going ballistic, dude. I just don't understand.
Oh, what if you use a different like you know like browser or something like that? It says Google Chrome's blinking.
Yeah.
The interface to Bitcoin, Google Chrome.
No, it definitely is my Google Chrome, but it's not. The thing is,
that's probably Jeff Perry communicating through us with Morse code.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the problem that I have is that it literally does it with any app that I try to do it on. If I try to share it on Discord, and like I'm looking at the original app, I'm not looking at Discord right now, and it's actually it makes the original app freak out when it like gets picked up by Discord. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. My apologies, everybody. Do not mind the strobes at the top of your
You
screen.
pretty much just ruined the stream, Animal.
I know. I mean, I pretty much did.
It's all right, I guess.
And you've been watching Twitch Culture fucking daily.
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly. Wait a minute. I got an idea. I can fix it.
Click on it.
I can fix it. Hold on. Boom! I fixed
You can
it.
crop it, can't you?
I fixed it.
Damn, dude, what'd you do?
Well, it won't fix it for you guys in the Discord chat with me.
No,
sadly.
I see it. It's not blinking anymore. Oh, now it just blinked.
Yeah, it's totally blinking.
Never mind.
Yep, there it is.
No, it's totally blinking. However, on stream it is not blinking anymore. So we're good to go.
Show me those little donut cakes or cake bites
Yeah.
or
You wanna see
puffs,
them- you
whatever
wanna
that
see
was.
them,
Oh my god,
wanna
that
see
was the
them
first thing I
cake-
saw. They looked amazing.
Dude, great job, by the way, fixing that, Animal. What'd you do?
I just went to a different scene. It's like my browser full screen scene, whatever.
He like crops it out.
Yeah, basically.
There you go, dog.
What the heck? What?
It's costumized, and he's in here.
He is.
Yeah.
What up there?
What's up? This is not
Looking good.
not at all what I clicked on, so I'm not sure what happened there.
I got love for Customized. You and Customized were the two people that connected with me first. So I got love for you both.
Sweet. That's awesome. So yeah, here's these
Oh my gosh.
these are these peanut butter balls that
Oh, they're peanut butter?
they're peanut butter on the inside and then dipped in milk chocolate and then
Yeah, they're good.
drizzled with the white chocolate. And yeah, they came out real good.
Is that the one? Is that what you were telling me about earlier? The fudge balls or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess they're not technically fudge. They're really just like peanut butter more than anything.
Damn, that looks fire, dude.
Yeah, I mean they're really simple, man. They're only like 4 or 5 ingredients. Just kind of whip them all together and dump them in chocolate. But
Whip it good.
Heather did a fine job with them earlier, and I helped.
My clock.
Oh,
What else?
I do apologize, everybody.
There he is. We didn't notice you were gone.
Yeah, I'll bet everybody on the live stream that just went down noticed I was gone.
Oh, it
Oh,
is
the live
down.
stream went
ain't it?
down? Well, there's still 34 people
It's
in there.
back.
Yeah, I had a little internet hiccup there. Apologies, everybody. Anyways, you can see my
At least
Twitch.
it's still rolling.
My Twitch even was like real
The
broke.
bad thing is, I think everybody always has to jump back in. I think it boots them out.
No, the stream didn't.
How many people are in there? No, there's still 32 people
Yeah,
in there.
don't leave. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, that's cool. Dude. This has been going so well. So well. We have a plan this time, boys.
Oh dang! I just looked at the chat, and both of my parents are in here, tuned in right about the time we started talking about the peanut butter balls. That's pretty awesome.
That's probably why they tuned in, because they're trying to remember those peanut butter balls. They're probably all gone. They're like, let me look at those things one last time.
Yeah, my dad said he had to liberate a few of those.
Yeah, I'm sure, huh? The liberator over here.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Super Now, what you think about Obamagate trending on good old Twitter today? Number one, over 1 million tweets.
Will you tell me about it, like, in a really quick way?
Yeah.
I haven't researched this yet.
Essentially, you know how Twitter is, right? They'll never let like something positive about Trump trend, right? So
Right.
Trump, let's say, cures cancer, right? It would never make Twitter, right? But
Right.
remember when he got elected, when he finally got into office and he was able to gather intelligence and information, he was like, Obama fucking spied on me, right?
Right.
And everybody was like, oh, what do you mean? He spied on you? That's
finally-
fucking crazy.
Has
Well,
he finally proven it?
well, guess what? Well, I
dropping it.
already know.
Well,
I
guess what?
believe that he spied on him, but I guess there's new evidence, more evidence coming out, and it's pretty fucking crazy. But like I mentioned, so I guess with the information that came out, the revelation in regards to Obamagate, Spygate, right? On the Trump campaign and the Trump Towers, etc., you know, where he said I was wiretapped, and everybody was like, oh, what do you mean you were wiretapped? That's just what people say in the fucking movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it reached over 1 million tweets, and it was trending number one for like maybe a few minutes or something like that, and it immediately jumped down to like 24th place with a tweet over it that had maybe like 100 likes on it or something. So they're trying to hide that shit right now. But Obama, yeah, I do believe Obama fucking spied on my boy. Fucking hater, communist, hates this country. He should be tried for fucking treason.
Yeah.
Right?
I read an article that Jack Dorsey published about a year ago, and he said that, you know, the American people aren't smart enough, that they have to police what we read, you know?
Well, that's kind of sounds like what Zuckerberg said, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Fucking
pretty
jerks.
much.
They're all jerks.
They try to put info in front of you instead of what you're looking for.
I loved your description, Andres, when we did the poker night. I loved your description of Zuckerberg when you were like, back when I used to be a human. I mean, no way.
Back when I was a human. I remember
Smoking
when
the
I was
meat.
a human. I mean,
Smoking
I'm
the
still a
meat.
human, guys. I was never not a human.
That cracked me up
He
so
really
much.
said that, didn't he? Didn't he say something along the lines?
No, it was word for word. He's like, when I was a human, he's like, I'm still a human. I mean, I was never not a human. Like he started, dude, it was the funniest shit watching that. That's where all those memes came, where he's like in front of Congress or whatever, he's testifying in front of Congress, and it like shows him like if he's like, you know, a robot.
Yeah.
Shows him like in the Matrix view, like scanning in on everybody.
I think he's
and shit.
alien. I think he's a fucking alien.
I love that.
Eric Freeman said, yes, Dre. Oh, they've got Trumpgate trending now. No imagination, says WW Ocean. You see? Obamagate trends for 10 minutes, and now they're going to have Trumpgate trending until this live stream is over, right? So that's twatter for you. That's why I come from political Twitter, right? I don't come from crypto Twitter. I don't come from makeup Twitter. I don't come from gaming Twitter. I come from political Twitter. And Dookie, like, I'm sure you remember way back, it was all fucking BSV. It was like Twitch was all of crypto Twitter, all of BSV Twitter. But that's what I love about Twitter. I mean, about Twitch. There is no political Twitter. There's no crypto Twitch. There's no this. It's just Twitch.
Yeah. It's like that old. Have you ever heard of Brian Regan?
No, inform.
He's a comedian, and he does this bit where he's like, you know, they sell peanut butter and jelly in the same jar now, you know, and he's like, I can't imagine who's that lazy that they're like, I want a sandwich, but I don't want to open 2 jars. Twitch is like the peanut butter is like the peanut butter and the jelly in the same jar. It's like
I was about to say I love peanut butter and jelly in the same jar.
I was about to say, man, Heather eats that
perfect,
Smuckers
dude.
like exclusively, dog. she refuses to have to put it together.
yeah.
You know,
I
like
mean, we have 30. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button, people.
Thanks, Dookie. Yeah.
We need to hit that 1,000 still.
And not just that, but also, like we talked about it a little bit before, but represent, like we're trying to show love, be love. And I think, doing that for the community is one of the best ways. Show other people by your actions what the community is all about and stuff like that. And anyone that's in this live stream, I don't think I need to tell that to, but it does strike me because of the whole thing with the numpties, with Calvin Air calling them out for, like having some questions. And then, like I had to spring into action and be like, hey, like you're not going to try and drag these guys, down because they're asking questions. They're, like we should be a community that has thick enough skin to survive a couple questions. You know what I mean? Like
If Calvin's so damn smart, then he should educate him instead of just calling them fucking names and shit.
I mean, yeah, we talk trash about Calvin and Craig and Jeff Perry all the time on this show. Let's come on, yeah. Why don't we get to have a stern
I feel
talking
like that's
to?
how Alex Gut came about, huh?
I know.
He didn't like noise on the show, so.
I don't think everyone knows about it. So
When's that? Is that been planned, Andre?
no, not quite yet. He's in the Discord. We're gonna send him an official Bay mail. We want to wait until after all of this is done, so
For sure.
we could have our heads clear. But yeah, it's gonna be. We want to obviously coordinate and make sure at least the 3 of us are there. Hopefully Hunter comes back from wherever he's at. Hopefully he's doing all right. I really miss you, brother. But
I want to
He
tell
said
you guys.
that last time I talked to Hunter, they were taking out all the phone lines. He said,
Yeah.
they were changing out all this. So it might be a minute before
He's
you
got
hear
that
from him.
5G
Do you
poison,
guys
man.
know where Hunter lives?
India.
somewhere in
Not exactly.
India. I forget the name of the city.
I know-
But he lives in like a small
It's like
local town or something.
southwest. It's like southwest coast, I think, somewhere in there of India.
Is this Hunter? This is his background, right? No, that's customized.
It's
That looks like
customized.
Hunter's wall.
It does kind of, except with like furniture. Hunter doesn't have
Yeah.
furniture.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hunter talked to me about where he lives and stuff like that. And I will just tell you, like, it was one of the most mind-blowing sentences I've ever heard. And he didn't actually explicitly give me permission to share it. So, like, and he said specifically that he didn't think y'all were ready to hear it. So I was like, oh, okay. And but I was like, I want so bad, but he never told me I can say it. So I'm like, I don't know. I can't really.
Now I'm curious as hell.
I hope he's working his way back to the United States.
That's
I hope
where he needs
that's
to be.
the reason that he's been going
I
dark.
feel like he's
because
going to pop up in Miami.
I pray that would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing.
Hunter's
Guys, we're coming up with like 14 minutes left. Gage, how long before you want to do like a little transition and get everything set up for Cosmos?
I'm just gonna wait till he pops his head in the room. I don't think we're gonna need very much for him. As soon as Costa or Daniel, if you're out there and you're listening, man, whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and pop your head in here, and we'll start working on the transition into letting you take over this bad boy. We got about
He
13
said he
minutes.
was all set a couple hours ago.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I love about Dan. He's always prepared and like he'll take it to the next extreme. Like with his presentations, I love it. Like he puts work into it. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
I think he's kept it under wraps a little bit too. He hasn't brought up what he's planning. So I'm definitely excited to see.
I think we're about to see some
Is
knowledge.
it that
that's for sure.
presentation you think that he had before that wasn't quite ready?
the one for
Maybe
Introduction to
Bitcoin. Yeah.
meetup. That was a good one. Did you see the Virgin and the Chad that he put in that?
Yes,
Well, hopefully, yes. But that
He
wasn't,
ended up
I don't think
posting
the right
that
one,
on-
was it?
and it was so funny. I loved it.
Lord have mercy.
So tell me though. So Alex, you know, like, which by the way, Dookie, did you make that meeting with you guys carrying the hand cash?
No, I think that was
casket.
Andre, or no, it was Animal here.
Yeah.
That was who?
I did that
Animal.
one. I'm guilty of
was
that one.
awesome.
Guilty.
That was so funny.
That was good.
There's Daniel.
There he
A
is.
few of them were my heads, but it was
Yeah,
his work.
yeah, I definitely ganked some heads from you, but yeah. I'll
That
put
was
one.
so funny, and I think sometimes
That
an
was great
image can be
clickbait.
so-
Not clickbait, but
Yeah.
you just want to see what this is about. You know?
Yeah, it's totally clickbait.
Yeah, and an
What
image
the hell
can be
going on
so
here?
like drawing that it just like creates a narrative on its own, and like that's what a meme is, you know, like kind of. And that is probably why Alex, you know, got sucked in. He doesn't want to see that thing.
He doesn't want to see that. Oh, it's scary. You know, I got the idea because
Alex, if
there
you're
was
watching, you could send us 2 BSV to our money button, right? And we'll make that video private because we got a lot of hours viewed off.
yeah, we did. No, actually, my inspiration was, you know, there was this video going around of all these guys dancing, carrying the casket. Have you guys seen this? Right?
Yes,
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's, that's I saw that and I was like, that's perfect. So that's where that all came from.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
No problem. By the way, Dan, how are you, brother? goes
Hey, good to see you, Andreas. And well, thanks for everything you said, Manifestable. Nice to see you in person.
Yeah, my pleasure, brother. Thank you for everything you've done for this community.
Yeah, well, thanks.
All right, so I got to go. I'll be right back. Okay.
See you soon, man. Yeah, so Daniel, I think a lot of people are excited about the little takeover you got going on here soon.
You mean my takeover of BSV?
And the
And
box.
the show.
Yes,
Oh,
I
just-
think that is more than the that are in here.
Even more
I
exciting
think
than
this is going to be
taking
the
over.
prime hours of this show. Is
Yep.
going to be this next 2 hours.
Oh my God. Okay,
That
I
and
haven't.
River.
I mean, I
You better have.
thought that I
This is
would
going to be a big deal.
just go over the story that I've been working on. So I started making a story in 2014. And let's see. I'll just share my screen here.
Now hold on. Now, I still got
Huh?
10.
You got 10 minutes.
I still got 10 minutes. All right.
Oh no, okay. I'll still share my screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. He said I'm still doing it. I'm just kidding with you.
See, the takeover. He's already ready for
He's
it.
ready, man. He's. I'm about to lose my job.
Yeah, you see it.
Am I supposed to look at this? What
Sorry,
you got
y'all.
here, Dan.
I've been straight sitting here for the last 20 minutes just pounding this Oreo milkshake. So don't mind me.
I was the inspiration for the Oreo milkshake, by the way.
You totally were. You said milkshake, and I was like, yes.
Bet.